Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now. This morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dua Esrar.
And I'm Derek Sibley.
It is October 16th, 2023. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Really, Dua? You're going to say happy Monday?
Yes, you have to be positive, even if it's Monday, Derek. Jeez.
Yeah, I guess so. But, you know, the weekend just flies too fast.
It does. It does, especially on this shift because, you know, technically you're in bed so early on Sunday. It's not really a weekend.
Oh, and by the way, Dua snoozed her alarm like 8 times, apparently.
I did, but I still got here on time.
Yeah, you did. I'm proud of you. I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah.
It's one of those Monday moods, if you know what I mean.
I feel like snoozing my alarm is an everyday mood for me. Yeah, I'm one of those people. Apparently, you're better at waking up if you don't snooze your alarm. Like, you won't feel as tired.
That's true, yeah.
But
the trick is to actually get up when your alarm goes off. And if you're not tired, that's like a plus, too.
Well, apparently, like if you don't snooze your alarm, you don't wake up tired because your body has like awoken to the noise of that alarm. But every time you snooze it, you have to like force yourself to listen to the alarm noise, so you just get more exhausted.
Well, fun fact.
Apparently, but that doesn't stop me from needing the extra 5 minutes.
The extra 5 minutes sometimes makes a huge difference.
It does.
All right, well, let's talk about what's happening weather-wise now, and we're talking about mostly clear skies here for us to work with. We'll keep our eyes on some patchy fog that could develop, but I think for the most part we're looking okay here so far, with temperatures into the 30s in many spots, such as Winona. You're 37, La Crosse is at 39, Sparta's at 31. Volkfield at 32, and we're seeing temperatures to the north in Eau Claire a little bit warmer than that right now at 42 degrees. So as we take a look at your planner, we may increase the clouds a little bit in the next couple of hours, lasting through the early noon, and then after that those clouds should clear out. The skies will turn mostly sunny with afternoon high temperatures into the 50s. So dog walking today looks great, partly cloudy to start, and then a little bit cloudier here by the afternoon, but I think as we head into the evening walks, things are looking much clearer by that point. But we may see some rain chances later this week. I'll talk about those details coming up in the full weather forecast. Not to mention we'll have a check on that schoolcast as well. Dua?
Thanks, Derek. Well, let's get to some news this morning. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office is asking for the public's help in finding a man wanted for a home invasion. On Thursday, the Sheriff's Office responded to reports of a home invasion in the village of Hickston. Anthony Sylvester IV was identified as the suspect in the invasion. The caller said Sylvester was brandishing a firearm. He also reportedly stabbed another person while inside the residence and fled before a deputy got to the scene. Sylvester was described as wearing a black or dark gray hooded sweatshirt with white strings. He was also wearing blue jeans. Sylvester is 6 feet tall and 175 pounds and has brown hair and blue eyes. He is considered armed and dangerous. If you see him, don't make contact and call 911 immediately. If you have information about the case of Sylvester's whereabouts, reach out to the number on your screen. This morning, the City of La Crosse Water Utility will start water system flushing today. According to a release, there may be street flooding during the flushing process. Water flushing may also cause a lack in water pressure and may cause short-term discoloration of water used for laundry. Anyone who has discolored water because of the flushing should run a basement faucet or bathtub with cold water until the water clears. Flushing starts officially at 7 this morning on the north side. Officials say it should last 2 to 3 days if there's no interruptions. The list of all potentially affected areas is on our website, News8000.com. Flushing on the south side will start on Wednesday. Travel alert for our La Crosse area viewers this morning. According to a City of La Crosse press release, Main Street will be closed from 6th Street to 7th Street starting today. The city says they will be conducting stormwater manhole repair work in the area. The city also says they don't have an estimated timeline for when the road will be reopened. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and the YMCA is shedding light on those impacted. The second annual Dare to Self-Care was held yesterday. The event promotes self-care activities while also bringing awareness and support to domestic violence survivors. The event focuses on women, the LGBTQ community, Black and Indigenous people, as well as people of color who tend to face the most domestic violence challenges. Ashley Clark, who is the outreach advocate, says it's not selfish to focus on your self-care.
It's very important to take care of yourself, especially people who have experienced domestic violence. A lot of times that the ability for them to care for themselves is taken away. So that's what today is about.
Along with Dare to Self-Care, another fundraising event will be held in February. Clark says they plan on hosting this event every year. Making a difference for the community, that was the goal during a breakfast held by the Sons of the American Legion. The Sons of the American Legion focuses on helping the community by funding projects for children and veterans. Yesterday, members donated $5,000 to the Onalaska Lions Club for the All Abilities Park. Ben Zimmer, who is the commander of the Sons of the American Legion, explains what drew the group to the All Abilities Playground project.
I really like the All Ability Park idea because we don't have one in this area, and we do have a lot of children. And one of the pillars of the Sons of the American Legion is children, so children and youth. So it's just a matter of giving back to the community, and a park's a great way to do that.
The Sons of American Legion is an organization made up of boys and men of all ages whose parents or grandparents served in the U.S. military. If you're interested in joining the group, it's only a one-time fee of $20. Happy anniversary to the West Salem Lions Club. Saturday, the West Salem Lions Club held a celebration for 75 years of service to the community. Those in attendance were served food and ice cream while a movie projector showed the history of the Lions Club. Live music was performed, prizes were won, and even a bounce house was available for the little kids. President of the West Salem Lions Club, Lynette Ender, says the event was all about informing the community.
We love our community, and we want our community to know what we do. And we have our history and some of the projects that we've done over the years on display, and we're hopeful that they will want to join us too.
The Lions' next event will be a 2-mile highway cleanup along Highway 16. Scouters Beware Camp Decorah Spookery went down this weekend. The event was an opportunity for scouts to take part in classic scouting endeavors. Along with the many Halloween activities planned for the scouts, 2 new programs were dedicated. Both new program areas are designed to help youths grow in self-confidence and to experience new things.
So this is our annual Halloween themed event. It's called Spookery, and they are participating in scout related activities that are also Halloween themed.
The scouts had around 11 activities lined up for the camp, including a compass course, first aid tomahawk throwing, and a scavenger hunt. Not a bad day to be a scout. And keeping the fall festivities going, Horse Sense hosted their 6th annual Fall Harvest Festival. The event ran from 11 to 3 in the afternoon and featured meet and greets with therapy horses, a farm tour, and other family-friendly activities. Folks also had the opportunity to paint pumpkins and get their face painted. Samantha Hall, who is the executive director for Horse Sense, says it's a great way to help bring the community together.
Basically, people come here, build a relationship with the horse through weekly therapeutic riding lessons throughout the year. So that's what we do at Horse Sense.
Along with the Fall Harvest Festival, Horse Sense also hosted a Kentucky Derby watch party in May. For more information on the story, you can head to news8000.com. The 7th annual Cooley Cup was held over the weekend in La Crosse. Kids from all over got to battle on the soccer pitch for bragging rights. News 8 Now's Shaquille Davis was at the event.
This is the 7th annual Cooley Cup. We're hosting over 100 teams from 4 states, also including some teams coming from Canada. The event is something that we put on every year this time of year. It's an opportunity for us to showcase our club, also have some home games for our players, but also, most importantly, help grow the game in our area and bring some visibility to soccer, the sport of soccer.
The Cooley Cup isn't your ordinary soccer trial or camp. Instead of repetitive drills or lengthy practices, President Tessing prefers to get straight into the action.
This is all games. The game started this morning at 8 a.m. and will go till 9 p.m. tonight. And we start again tomorrow at 8. And the championship games will start late tomorrow morning and run through the afternoon. Should wrap up around 5 with all the award ceremonies and get people on the way home after hopefully an enjoyable weekend.
President Tessing admits he's rooting for all squads in attendance, but makes a point to mention his overall goal.
Well, I'm cheering for all teams, of course. We want our Rush Wisconsin West teams to do good, but the most important thing is that we have a positive experience and that the level of play is the right balance. So the games are competitive and fun for everyone.
One parent recalls his daughter's memorable takeaway from this annual event.
She definitely likes the encouragement she gets from the other players. It helps to build up her self-esteem.
But the fun doesn't stop once the final whistle blows on Sunday. President Tessing says he has more in store for the community.
Other than the Coulee Cup, which is our major event that we do every fall in October, we do host other events in the fall and spring, but they're more one-day events with like 60 or 70 games that we can do in one day. But those are just more local competition that we're offering for kids to play the game here. And we have 15 fields here, so we have plenty of space to host that many games.
For News 8 Now, I'm Shaquille Davis.
Well, still ahead on your morning news, the FDA wants to know what you think about a ban on hair straightening products. We'll take a look at the products that could be banned and why experts say they pose health dangers. And the U.S. is facing a bilingual teacher shortage. We'll take a look at how some school districts are taking a different approach on how they hire educators. That and more is coming up this morning, but for now we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Hundreds of hot air balloons could be seen in the skies above Albuquerque, New Mexico over the weekend. That's because this weekend marked the 51st annual Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. Each year since 1972, the event has filled the skies with over 500 air balloons. Visitors and locals alike turned out to set up lawn chairs and enjoy the spectacle. Although windy conditions canceled the festival's farewell float on Sunday, the week-long event still gave people plenty of chances to gawk at the balloons and point out their favorites. Don't go anywhere. Your consumer news at News 8 Now this morning is after the break.
Things are looking mostly clear here this morning, and temperatures this afternoon should be rising well into the 50s here later today. In La Crosse County, we're looking at 55 in West Salem and 57 in Berry Mills. Meanwhile, to the north of Maduro, you should be looking at a high of 54 today. It'll be 55 in Soldiers Grove and 52 today in Westby, with a high of 52 in Viroqua. And we're looking at 54 today in Melrose and 55 in Trempealeau and a high of 53 in Osseo. 54 though if you're in Whitehall. In the Chippewa Valley, high temperatures here in the low 50s as well, with 53 degrees this afternoon if you're in Eau Claire. Now for the bus stop forecast here this morning, temperatures will be at 41, partly cloudy skies, and on the way back home we'll be turning a little bit on the sunnier side. Mostly sunny conditions here with temperatures at around 57 degrees. So stay tuned. I'll have another check on that full weather forecast coming up in a few minutes, and we'll talk about how long these nice conditions will last. We may have some rain chances later this week, and we may talk about here coming up as well.
In your consumer news this morning, union workers for Kaiser Permanente have finally reached an agreement with the healthcare giant. It comes after 7 months of negotiations and a strike last week to raise awareness about staffing shortages and harsh work conditions. That strike is the biggest healthcare strike in U.S. history. According to the company, the tentative deal includes pay increases over 4 years and addresses staff shortages. Best Buy's DVD and Blu-ray section is going the way of Blockbuster. The company says it will officially stop selling those items at the beginning of 2024. According to the electronics retailer, the move is intended to make more room in stores for new and innovative tech, but you'll still be able to buy DVDs at Best Buy locations through this holiday season. Physical media sales have dropped sharply in recent years based on numbers from the Digital Entertainment Group. The FDA wants to know how consumers would feel about a ban on certain hair straightening products. It would include chemical relaxers and pressing products experts say are health risks, specifically the Target products with formaldehyde, a chemical commonly used as an embalming agent. According to scientists, these chemicals may lead to ovarian, breast, and uterine cancer. The FDA is asking for public comments on the proposed rule before it makes a final decision. The record number of migrants arriving in the U.S. includes many young children. Now, schools nationwide are trying to find enough bilingual teachers to fill classrooms. Michael George shows us how some cities are trying to recruit more educators with new ideas.
Schools across the country are adapting to a new reality, the enrollment of tens of thousands of migrant children.
I've never had as many students as I have now.
Michelle Land is a high school teacher and president of New Jersey Bilingual Educators. She says many children of asylum seekers speak little or no English, and without bilingual teachers, it'll be tough for them to keep up with their classmates or learn English.
Can bilingual education actually help kids learn English faster?
Absolutely. And as a teacher of language, I know that in order for the student to learn a new language, we need to have a strong foundation in the first language.
A 2021 Department of Education report found more than half of states have a shortage of bilingual educators, with low pay and certification issues being the main reasons. Nonprofits are now offering financial incentives in Miami, Los Angeles, and Dallas to find more bilingual teachers. And in New York, a city trying to accommodate 20,000 more students, school officials are making it easier for bilingual teachers to get tenure.
Launching that gave us access to over 500 additional teachers who are already tenured, already show proven success here in New York City schools, and who have the credentials to teach our multilingual learners.
Melissa Aviles Ramos with the New York City Department of Education says now the city has enough teachers to handle the influx of new students.
It makes a huge difference. Children feel welcomed when their language is recognized in a setting.
The hope is it will give tens of thousands of kids a foundation for a good education.
Advocates say the U.S. will need to invest much more money in education to meet the demands of the growing number of migrant students. Well, that's it for your morning consumer news. Let's check in with Derek and get today's forecast.
All right, thanks so much for that, Dua. We're starting off this morning mostly clear. Temperatures are currently into the 40s, but in La Crosse, we just lowered our temperature to 39 degrees. However, downtown, we're still in the 40s right now at 42. Northeast winds are light at 5 miles an hour. In Eau Claire, 42 degrees. Cloudier skies here, though. North-northwest winds light at 5 miles an hour. And you can see a lot of locations are looking mostly clear. The exception in the Chippewa Valley, a little bit more cloud cover here, development for you. Much colder towards Black River Falls. Right now, you're sitting at 29. Sparta's at 31. Volkfield at 32. And Winona towards the west is currently at 37. Meanwhile, down south, Viroqua, you're at 37. And Boscobel at 36. Prairie Sheen 39. Partly cloudy and 41 will be our conditions at 7 o'clock. Mostly cloudy temperatures at 50 at noon, and then turning sunnier with 54 the temperature at 4 o'clock. Clear skies, 47 degrees by early on this evening. With our high temperatures today into the low to mid 50s, it'll be 53 in Eau Claire and a high of 57 today if you're in La Crosse this afternoon. So again, those clouds are probably increasing at around 10 o'clock or so here later this morning into the early afternoon. But I do think by the late afternoon hours, we're turning clear there as high pressure towards the west begins to take shape, and that should help clear out the skies here a little bit before some more cloud cover develops as we head into overnight tonight, and then those clouds will quickly vanish as we head into tomorrow afternoon. But then the clouds are expected to increase again by the time we hit tomorrow night as this low pressure system to our west begins to develop and move into our general direction. That's going to help increase not only the clouds but also the chance of seeing some scattered showers around here as we head into Wednesday, which will continue into Wednesday night, and we may even keep some rain chances around to the forecast as we head into Thursday, as you'll see on the 8-day forecast here. But after Thursday, I think we're much drier. By Friday, becoming partly cloudy with highs around 57 there. And as we head into this weekend, temperatures warming up just a little bit further into the upper 50s to low 60s with a mix of sun and clouds. Same forecast in store as we head into Monday of next week, with low temperatures mainly into the 40s. You can also download our free First Warn weather app on the Google Play or the Apple App Store, so you're always staying on top of the weather here in the Coulee region. You also get the 8-day forecast right there on your fingertips and can sign up for push alerts as well. Stay tuned. We're back with much more news and weather still to come on News 8 Now this morning. For now, we're sending you a break with a look what happened on this day in history for October 16th. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Morning Blitz. Once again, we had another Sunday with no Packer football, which just seemed weird. They lost that Thursday night game against the Lions, then last Monday to the Raiders, and now they're on a bye week. The Vikings, however, were in action yesterday on the road against the Bears. Both teams entered the game looking for just their second win of the season. Let's go to Soldier Field. Remember, Vikings without Justin Jefferson for a few weeks, so somebody has to step up. And yesterday, it was the defense. Justin Fields feeling the pressure, lets it fly, but that's Jordan Hicks with the interception. This man was everywhere today. You'll see him again later. That would lead to this. With 17 seconds in the half, Cousins connects with the rookie Jordan Addison to give Minnesota a 6-point lead at the break. Second half, Bears on 3rd and 7. Justin Fields buying time, but that's Daniel Hunter bringing him down for one of 2 sacks on the day. And bad news for the Bears as Justin Fields would leave the game with a hand injury. And with no Justin Fields, things were bad for the Chicago offense. Tyson Bagnan in at QB, but Josh Metellus is going to force a fumble. Bounces the ball around a bit before Jordan Hicks picks it up. And check out this run up the sideline. Nobody going to stop him. All the way in for the score. Vikings take a 19-6 lead. Bears would actually have a chance to take the lead late, but this throw is going to be a little short. Byron Murphy Jr. is there for the interception, and that would be the game. With no Justin Jefferson, the Vikings get their second win of the year, 19-13 over the Bears. Over to the Fieldhouse. Badger volleyball taking on Maryland. First set, Izzy Ashburn sets it to Anna Smrek. She gets the kill. Badgers lead early. Later in the set, Badgers serving, Maryland setting it up on the outside, but you got to do better than that. Sarah Franklin right there for the block. Badgers take set 1. Second set, Maryland on the serve, but Ashburn is going to set it to Smrek. She makes it look so easy. She gets the kill. Badgers go on to take set 2. Third set, Wisconsin out in front. The set to the outside, and this time Franklin puts some power on it for the kill. And then on match point, out to Franklin one more time. Unstoppable. They get the sweep. They've now won 27 straight sets. Preseason NBA, and look who it is. Damian Lillard making his Bucks debut last night as the Milwaukee Bucks took on the LA Lakers. First possession of the game, and Giannis is here to remind everyone this is his team. Takes the ball in the post and goes to work. Gets the shot to fall for his first bucket of the preseason. Dame said he wanted to prove people wrong with his defense. Well, look at that strip, and then picks the ball up and finds Giannis, who slams it in. Bucks trail by 6. Overall, pretty slow night for Damian Lillard with 7 minutes to go in the first half. Finally knocks down a 3-ball, and then under a minute to go, working the pick and roll with Giannis, finds the lane, draws some contact, bucket, and the foul. Dame finished with 14. Giannis had 16. Bucks get the win, 108-97. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
This morning, there is uncertainty as to whether a ceasefire will be put in place to allow humanitarian aid to be delivered from Egypt into Gaza. Right now, the death toll on both sides is nearing 4,000 as Israelis prepare for a land invasion of Gaza. Meanwhile, authorities here in the U.S. say the conflict in the Middle East may have led to the targeting and tragic killing of a child on American soil. CBS News' Naomi Reckham has the latest from New York.
More Israeli ground troops have moved closer to Gaza. Military officials say a Hamas commander was killed over the weekend by airstrikes. The U.S. Embassy says there are reports that a border crossing between Egypt and Gaza will open to allow in desperately needed humanitarian aid, but the situation is unpredictable.
Gaza is running out of water and electricity.
In a CBS 60 Minutes interview, President Biden said Israel has to go after Hamas.
Hamas is a bunch of cowards. They're hiding behind the civilians.
A U.S. official tells CBS News Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has invited the president to Israel and that both sides have discussed the possibility of that visit. Though today, Secretary of State Antony Blinken is back in Israel after meeting with multiple leaders in the Middle East over the weekend. Flights carrying Americans returning from Israel landed in Florida, New York, and Chicago.
I got to the gate, I sat down, and I started crying.
But in a nearby Chicago suburb, a memorial is growing after authorities say a knife-wielding man attacked his tenants, injuring a Palestinian mother and killing her 6-year-old son. The sheriff's office says the child was stabbed 26 times.
How can anyone do that to a little boy? I can't
In a statement, President Biden expressed condolences to the child's family, adding, quote, "This horrific act of hate has no place in America."
The Department of Justice has opened a hate crimes probe into the Illinois attack. Meanwhile, the FBI is warning that threats in the past week have increased against Jewish and Muslim facilities. The agency is asking for tips from the public, with their biggest concern being lone wolf-style assailants. Enrollment in Wisconsin's public schools is decreasing. That's according to a new report from the Wisconsin Policy Forum. Since 2019, Wisconsin public schools have lost more than 32,000 students. The report says that's because of an increase in private and homeschool enrollment and a decline in the birth rate. The report also found that thousands of school-aged children were unaccounted for during the 2022-23 school year. Those unaccounted students represented nearly 1/3 of the public school enrollment decline. The Department of Instruction noted in the report that those students could be attending private and homeschools and are just not being captured by state counts. Private and home schools aren't held to the same standard when it comes to reporting their enrollment. The Department of Children and Families says more than 162,000 kids are in regulated child care in Wisconsin, but there are only 4,500 regulated providers. Those providers support a Governor Evers bill that would put some state surplus money towards their businesses. For them, it's the only way to fix an industry that's been on life support for decades. News 8 Now's Ken Kazarowski has more.
27-year-old Josie Wermager runs a child care center out of her home in rural Rockland.
My nephews came around when I was 15, and then I just loved watching him grow up, so then it just gave me the love for kids.
She hadn't planned on running her own center 2 years ago, but she basically had no choice. The child care center she was taking her kids to couldn't hold on to staff.
We lost child care for my youngest daughter and my oldest, and I needed to go back to school, so I'm like, well, I guess if I don't have child care, I'm going to open up at home.
Josie and her husband put thousands of dollars into remodeling their house and backyard to get officially licensed with the Department of Public Instruction. The license allows them to care for 8 kids between newborn and 8 years old.
6:30 in the morning till 5:30 at night.
Since child care counts began, the state reports most providers have used the direct payments to raise staff wages, or in Josie's case, cover operating expenses.
It's going to be a lot more of a challenge without counts around, because that was a way to get new supplies. Like, I bought a lot of my supplies from Facebook or other daycares that went out of business.
But the federal money is almost gone. The program cut payments in half a few weeks ago to buy providers some more time, but Josie still had to make a tough decision.
I ended up having to raise my rates, not by a lot, but just a little bit to kind of offset the weight.
Senate Republicans on Wednesday asked providers why it's a bad thing to raise their rates if demand is so high. Providers told them simple economics won't work here.
Everything now these days costs more to live than it did 20, 30 years ago. So that's where you kind of need both parents to work. I paid for childcare for a while working, and I didn't bring much home because half my check went to daycare. We don't want to harm families by raising our rates. We want to keep them somewhat financially stable for families and the providers.
It's a hard balance to strike, and that's why Democrats say child care counts payments made it easier for providers to raise wages and still keep rates affordable.
If we actually valued care work in terms of the benefit that it provides to the economy, childcare workers would be some of the best paid workers out there.
So if the program dies, providers and Democrats agree that the economy will feel the pain.
Everyone's going to start struggling more than what they already do now for workers. Because how are you going to get all these workers that you're looking for even right now when you can't find childcare to watch your child?
Every childcare provider is enabling 5, 10, 20 other people to be in the workforce. We'll never, ever get a do-over on keeping these providers' doors open.
Josie's business has not been eligible for most child care grants through La Crosse until now. She says she's been approved for an unknown amount from the county's ARPA dollars. Josie says she'll use that grant to grow the number of kids she can care for. Well, now here's Derek to tell us what to expect for our morning commute.
All right, thanks for that, Duo. We're looking at mostly clear skies here for us to work with this morning. I think we may see some increasing clouds go up here as we head into the later morning, into the early afternoon. But for right now, things are starting off on a clear note with temperatures on the cold side, especially the further east you are into Black River Falls and Sparta. That's where we're seeing temperatures currently into the upper 20s to low 30s, but the rest of us mainly into the 40s. Overall forecast today, mostly cloudy. Will stay cool with high temperatures at around 57 degrees. Winds light at north-northwest, 5 to 10 miles an hour. Heading into tonight, we're more seasonable with our temperatures at 41 degrees. Mostly cloudy, winds west at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Today is a nice day to do some mowing if you haven't yet already. Looking at mainly cloudy skies at around noon today. Temperatures at 50. Much sunnier, though, by 5 o'clock. Temperatures will be at around 52 degrees. Stay tuned. I'll have another check, or final check that is, on the full weather forecast in a few minutes. We'll talk about some possible upcoming rain chances that we could be dealing with later this week. Also coming up in our Buzz Report, actor Michael Caine is retiring after almost 70 years making movies. We'll take a look back at the icon's career in just a few minutes. Skies are looking mostly clear this morning with current temperatures now in La Crosse sitting at 39 degrees. So we've lowered those temperatures here a little bit. Downtown, though, at 42. So a little bit warmer. North-northeast winds light at 5 miles an hour. If you're in Eau Claire, you're sitting at 42 degrees with some cloudier skies. Winds at the north-northwest at around 5 miles an hour. So light winds here really all across the area. You can see some of those thin clouds well to the north in the Chippewa Valley, but the rest of us, again, just looking at mostly clear skies with current temperature readings now. A lot of us into the 30s, some of us even into the upper 20s, like Black River Falls there at 29. Sparta, you're currently at 31. Roque was at 36, and towards the west in Winona, you're currently at 37 degrees. So here's a check now on your planner. 41 and partly cloudy at 7. We will pick up the cloud cover just a little bit by noon. 50 degrees the temperature there, and then 54 degrees, mostly sunny skies by 4 o'clock, followed by clear skies in the forecast with temperatures at 47 degrees as we head into early this evening at 8 o'clock. High temperatures today into the 50s, so a little unseasonably cool for this time of the year. A high of 57 is in the forecast for you in La Crosse, and a high of 53 in the forecast here for you if you're in Eau Claire. So again, some of those clouds increasing as we head into the 10 o'clock hour here this morning, but I do expect that those clouds will gradually clear out as the afternoon goes on, and then by 5 o'clock I'm expecting high pressure to move in. That's going to help clear out the skies here a little bit for us to work with today, and we will see some clouds move in again as we head into overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning. Now, as we take you into tomorrow afternoon, we may see a little bit of some clouds, but I think for the most part, skies looking mostly dry and sunny. However, we're going to start to increase the moisture, though, as we head into tomorrow night into early Wednesday as a low pressure system begins to move in from the west. And not only will we be talking about some increasing cloud cover here for Wednesday by midweek, but maybe even some scattered rain showers here in the forecast Wednesday and into Wednesday night as this low pressure system continues to track through the Coulee region. Now, you may even see some rain chances that could linger into Thursday here as well. And then after that, I think by Friday, we're looking much drier there with highs into the upper 50s. Now, by this weekend, it looks like a mix of clouds and sun, highs in the upper 50s, low 60s. Same forecast trend there into early next week on Monday. Low temperatures mainly in the 40s. Don't forget to, you can also download our free First Warn Weather app on the Google Play or the Apple App Store. You get all those current and hourly temperatures and forecast outlooks, plus your 8-day forecast right there on your fingertips.
In our morning Buzz Report, beloved British film icon Michael Caine is finally hanging up his acting boots. The two-time Oscar winner announced his retirement while speaking to the BBC's Radio 4 on Saturday. The 90-year-old says The Great Escaper, which came out earlier this month, will be his last role. Caine's career kicked off in the early 1950s. Caine's early work included films like Zulu and A Bridge Too Far. Later in life, he often worked with Christopher Nolan playing Alfred in the director's Batman trilogy. Actress Piper Laurie has died. Laurie achieved fame for the films Carrie and The Hustler alongside Paul Newman. She got Oscar nods for both of those roles. She also won acclaim for her work on David Lynch's surreal 1990s mystery Twin Peaks, which she won an Emmy for. Turner Classic Movies calls her one of the most celebrated actors of the last 50 years. According to her manager, the star passed away Saturday in Los Angeles at the age of 91.
You can run from danger, but you can't run away from your feet.
Another Hollywood legend we lost this weekend was actress Suzanne Somers. She rose to prominence in the late 1970s for her role on the popular sitcom Three's Company. When she asked the show to pay her the same as her male castmates, she was fired in 1980. But that didn't stop Somers. She went on to find success not only as an actress, but as a musical performer, author, and talk show host with her own fitness empire. Suzanne Somers was 76.
Welcome to the Eras Tour.
It may be mid-October, but this weekend's box office looked a lot more Swifty than spooky. According to returns, 7 out of every 10 movie tickets sold this weekend were for Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour. The film tallied an estimated $96 million in North America, with about 4.8 million people attending in total. That makes it the highest-grossing concert film ever. Swift put a cap on her big weekend with a brief appearance on SNL along with rumored boyfriend Travis Kelce.
Well, it was a hit, as expected. Right?
Yes, the movie was fantastic. It was a great opportunity for people who haven't seen the concert to actually, you know, experience it.
Usually I would ask, rate on a scale of 1 to 10, but I don't think that's relevant because you're just going to say it broke the scale, right?
Well, okay. Actually, I thought the movie itself was like a 10, like great experience, even for fans that like aren't diehard Taylor Swift fans.
Yeah, they loved it, right?
It's the concert experience, so I definitely recommend seeing it, even if you don't like listen to every single Taylor Swift song, because she put on such a performance.
Yeah.
But I will say there were some continuity issues I noticed as someone who works in broadcast and like looks at the timeline. There were cuts where like her hair was super frizzy because they filmed it over several days.
Okay, gotcha.
So they were like in one song, Blank Space, which is one of her more well-known songs.
Yeah.
She's dancing, singing, and there's shots where her hair is completely frizzy and curly, and then she like flips, and then it's completely pinned straight. And that was like all I could focus on.
Yeah. So I guess that's like a small critique there for me.
Just like if you notice things like that, because I was sitting there and I was like, yeah. But overall, it was a fantastic experience.
That's good. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Well, we got some birthdays here today as well, Dua, and we're going to start off with Kaisley, who is 8 months old. She loves watching people, including her dad, pouring concrete. So happy birthday, Kaisley.
Samuel is 18 years old, and he loves his sports.
Well, if you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we love to feature them.
Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab on our website. Stay with us. We have everything you need to know today in 5 minutes or less. Your morning news now is up next. In your morning news now, the Jackson County Sheriff's Office is asking for the public's help in finding a man wanted for home invasion. On Thursday, the Sheriff's Office responded to reports of a home invasion in the village of Hickston. Anthony Sylvester the fourth was identified as the suspect in the invasion. The caller said Sylvester was brandishing a firearm. He also reportedly stabbed another person while inside the residence and fled before a deputy got to the scene. Sylvester was described as wearing a dark gray or black hooded sweatshirt with white strings. He was also wearing blue jeans. Sylvester is 6 feet tall and 175 pounds and has brown hair and blue eyes. He is considered armed and dangerous. If you see him, don't make contact with him and call 911 immediately. If you have information about the case of Sylvester's whereabouts, reach out to the number on your screen. This morning, the City of La Crosse Water Utility will start water system flushing today. According to a release, there may be street flooding during the flushing process. Water flushing may also cause a lack in water pressure and may cause short-term discoloration of water used for laundry. Anyone who has discolored water because of the flushing should run a basement faucet or bathtub with cold water until the water clears. Flushing starts officially at 7 this morning on the north side. Officials say it should last about 2 to 3 days if there's no interruptions. The list of all potentially affected areas is on our website, news8000.com. Flushing on the south side will start on Wednesday. A travel alert for our La Crosse area viewers this morning. According to a City of La Crosse press release, Main Street will be closed from 6th Street to 7th Street starting today. The city says they will be conducting stormwater manhole repair in the area. The city also says they don't have an estimated timeline for when the road will be reopened. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and the YMCA is shedding light on those impacted. The second annual Dare to Self-Care was held yesterday. The event promotes self-care activities while also bringing awareness and support to domestic violence survivors. The event focuses on women, the LGBTQ community, Black and Indigenous people, and people of color who tend to face the most domestic violence challenges. Ashley Clark, who is the outreach advocate, says it's not selfish to focus on yourself.
It's very important to take care of yourself, especially people who have experienced domestic violence. A lot of times that the ability for them to care for themselves is taken away. So that's what today is about.
Along with Dare to Self-Care, another fundraising event will be held in February. Clark says they plan on hosting this event every year. Scouters Beware Camp Decorah Spookery went down this weekend. The event was an opportunity for Scouts to take part in classic Scouting endeavors. Along with the many Halloween activities planned for the Scouts, 2 new programs were dedicated. Both new program areas are designed to help youths grow in self-confidence and experience new things.
So this is our annual Halloween themed event. It's called Spookery, and they are participating in Scout related activities that are also Halloween themed.
The Scouts had around 11 activities lined up for the camp, including a compass course, first aid, tomahawk throwing, and a scavenger hunt. Not a bad day to be a Scout. Horse Sense hosted their 6th annual Fall Harvest Festival. The event ran from 11 to 3 in the afternoon and featured meet and greets with therapy horses, a farm tour, and other friendly activities. Folks also had the opportunity to paint pumpkins and get their face painted. Samantha Hall, who is the executive director for Horse Sense, says it's a great way to help bring the community together.
Basically, people come here, build a relationship with the horse through weekly therapeutic riding lessons throughout the year. So that's what we do at Horse Sense.
Along with the Fall Harvest Festival, Horse Sense also hosted a Kentucky Derby watch party in May. For more information on the story, you can head to news8000.com.
As you head outside this morning, temperatures into the low to mid 40s, partly to mostly cloudy skies, and then those clouds will clear as we head into this afternoon, turning mainly sunny today with highs into the 50s. A little cool with those temperatures and north to northwest winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Heading into the day tomorrow, we're looking at highs reaching 62, so a little milder there, partly cloudy. Looking for a chance of showers, though, come Wednesday and Thursday, and then we're drier again as we head into Friday and this weekend.
Now that's perfect fall weather.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Not like last week where it was like 39 degrees. That's not fall.
39 degrees.
Yeah,
in the morning probably.
Yeah, it was like 36. It was like 45 in the cities this weekend.
Oh yeah.
It was winter. It was
yeah.
like winter there. It was raining too. Not a fun time.
Yeah, it was raining here too. The end of last week was just a mess.
Well, that's why it's Monday. We're starting fresh.
Exactly.
Starting fresh. And the foliage is getting even brighter now.
It is. It's looking good too. Looking much nicer in some spots.
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like this is my favorite time of year to hike, just to view those fall
absolutely.
colors. You know, so.
Well, thank you for watching News 8 Now this morning. We'll see you back here later today. Have a wonderful Monday.